When Camilo was visiting here, we went to a ton of retro stores, went to even Best Buys and GameStops, trying to find a lot of cool games for us to play while he was here, and then also just to collect and have in our collection. I'm gonna go in order of which we kind of found all these shops when we did our big retro adventure, which you can see in his vlog, guys, which is linked down below. So the first store we went to is called Game Dude, and that's in Van Nuys, which is in the Valley in LA. And I picked up a bunch of Game Boy Advance games and a Game Boy Color game. Mario versus Donkey Kong. I'm gonna hold this right here. Mario versus Donkey Kong. I've always been a huge fan of the Donkey Kong franchise, especially starting in the 1994 Donkey Kong. It was a really cool 2D platformer slash puzzle solver. This game is the sequel to that? Spiritual successor to that. So I'm excited to play that game. I've always really wanted to play it, and it's got also those like kind of pre-rendered 3D, 2D sprites, which is pretty cool, and I actually like that art style. Some people are like, oh, it hasn't aged very well. I think it aged just fine. Another game that I used to have on the Game Boy Advance that I just bought again is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. When this game was brand new, I knew all the tricks, I knew all the specials, it was super cool. The Tony Hawk's Pro Skater franchise on the Game Boy Advance is a really cool 3D skateboarding game, and I recommend it to everybody. And I got this for 99 cents.
But it was 99 cents.
Also for 99 cents,
But
I got Spyro 1, The Season of Ice, and Spyro 2, The Season of Flame, right here, also on Game Boy Advance. Carved into the back of the cartridge is a boy's name, and his name is Daniel. So I don't know if we can see Daniel's name. Ooh, I think we do see it. Lastly, guys, and I explained it in Camilo's vlog, I bought Hole-in-One Golf by Natsume Games. It's a game that comes with a Rumble Pack, but I specifically bought this just to get the battery cover so that I could replace the battery cover on my Pokemon Pinball game for Game Boy Color. And my plan worked. So that was everything that we got at Game Dude in Van Nuys. That's everything I got at Game Dude in Van Nuys. So now let's go southeast to Game Portal. Game Portal is that smaller store that I'm not that big of a fan of, but their prices were actually pretty reasonable. So I found a copy of X-Men Legends for about $5, which I was excited to find because I do have X-Men Legends 2 on the PS2, and I've got a lot of hype personally for the Marvel Ultimate Alliance games. So after we went to Game Portal, we drove south to another game store called Game Realm, which is like my favorite retro store. It's a medium-sized store with a pretty darn good selection of games. And I found a couple of things that I was actually legitimately looking for. These are everywhere. You can get them on Amazon. I already unboxed it in my other video, but I unboxed this. This is the Hori D-pad Joy-Con controller, and it essentially doesn't have Bluetooth, it doesn't have rumble, it doesn't have motion. All it has is this D-pad, which I think is really important because being an 8-bit boy, I play a lot of NES games, a lot of 2D platformers, and having a dedicated D-pad for handheld mode is really important to me. I also found a game that I might not even play, and I might immediately put up on eBay, and it's Tamagotchi Life for the 3DS. It was $9. And I know it's like a weird kind of life sim game. I'll play it, but I don't know if it's gonna stay in my collection for very long. Last game that I got at that store was Crash Bandicoot: The Huge Adventure. I was looking for this game at every game store we went to. It was one of the #1 things on my to-get list for my collection because I did not like the Insane Trilogy very much. I know, I'm sorry, all you Crash fans can freak out and yell at me in the comments.
Remember, get him alive if you can, but get him!
But I don't really like the Crash Insane Trilogy. I don't think that it plays very well. But I do vividly remember Crash Bandicoot: The Huge Adventure on Game Boy Advance having pretty slick controls, reminding me a little bit of the Donkey Kong Country franchise. And I sat down and I played it for about a half hour, 45 minutes, and it holds up. I might have some nostalgia lenses on, but I like it. I recommend it. And then I grabbed, finally, I've needed a GameCube memory card for a long time. Linkle donated this to the channel like 6 months ago. I finally found one for a reasonable price. So I picked up a GameCube memory card because I'm completely out of space on my GameCube. Then we headed south again, and we found a Best Buy because also during this entire game hunt, we were looking for Kingdom Hearts, the story so far. I think we can get through 1 and 2 before 3 comes out and maybe get a little bit of a taste of everything else, but I'm excited to finally sink my teeth deeply into the Kingdom Hearts franchise. We are moving on to the next day, and we decided to hit up a GameStop. I had a buy 2 get 1 free coupon, and sometimes I don't know what to buy when I have a buy 2 get 1 free coupon. So what I do is I buy 3 games that cost the same amount of money: Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Red Dead Redemption 2 for the Xbox One, and Red Dead Redemption 2 for the PS4. I just buy a duplicate copy of whatever game I want, and I put it up on eBay and I sell it. That's something you're allowed to do, and if you guys are ever in a pickle, I recommend it, because then you get your 50 bucks back and you can put that towards your 2 games. And it's actually already sold. At the time of filming this video, I posted it, and I woke up the next morning and it had already sold. So this game doesn't belong to me anymore. It belongs to some guy on eBay. This is Starlink Battle for Atlas. I never really got into the Toys to Life other than Amiibo, but this is like a Nintendo branded Toys to Life thing, and I can get behind it. It looks cool. I'm into it. So what I want to do now, guys, is we're going to cut, and we are going to do an unboxing of Starlink, the Battle for Atlas starter pack, so that I can finally get into and actually play this game. So let's unbox it.